I was just waiting for him to finish unloading me so I could haul it off to the concrete plant. It's removal, so it's old broken concrete. I was just making sure he didn't load me up too heavy towards the front. So I decided to record myself unloading on one of my last loads, and here I am just climbing on top of the tire so I can bring the tarp in. I can't reach the lever, and I'm actually pretty tall, so I'm surprised I can't reach it. I'm 5'4", so yeah, it's also very stiff and it gets stuck and it's just a pain in the butt. My boss also had a hard time with it, so yeah, that's probably the hardest part of unloading, just because, I have to literally put all of my force into it, switch arms, and I just come out sore and sweaty sometimes. So yeah, and then I just go back in and I release my trailer valve so I could supply air to the trailer, and then I'll go and engage the PTO so that it can unlock the gate or the back door. And then now we're ready to dump, and I go in there and I engage my PTO so I can raise up the end dump. And the way that this one works, I don't know if they're all the same. I'm not too experienced with the end dump, so don't come at me for it. But I release my tractor valve, the yellow one, and I leave the trailer valve engaged. So that way my trailer doesn't move, but the tractor does. You can see it here. It pulls backwards when the trailer goes up. And then I just move forward so that it can, unload the rest. And, looking at the video, I never realized how high it actually goes up, because once I'm in the truck, you can't really see it. I just make sure it's not moving to the side or leaning or anything. But that is pretty intimidating, and I can understand why a lot of people are scared of the end dumps, especially if, you're not cautious or anything. Just make sure you're on level, flat ground. Make sure there's no holes, bumps. Pay attention to the direction of the wind. That can also help prevent the end dump from flipping. And if you have an aluminum end dump, those are a little bit more prone to flipping because they are lighter, and it's safer if all your axles stay on the ground as well. One of my axles does go up, so that is a little bit more dangerous. So there's just a lot of little factors that have a lot to do, with that kind of stuff. And yes, don't come at me for that either. I don't know the correct terms, because I know there's different end dumps, like there's half rounds and stuff. But yeah, I just disengaged the PTO for the gate, make sure it locked correctly, and then now we're off to go for the next load and do the same thing over again. And then on my next load here, the next clip, you'll see me unloading on the side of the highway. That is easier because it is on asphalt and it's paved and flat. So like I said, this next clip is me unloading on the side of the highway. So it was a little easier because it was on asphalt, so the ground was flat and even. I just had to make sure that there was no cables or wires or anything, and just pay attention to the direction of the wind. So yeah, that's how I unloaded there. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tagging along with me on the end dump today. Please make sure to stay tuned for the next video and see what I'll be doing next. Please make sure to like and subscribe and share the video. And yeah, stay tuned. Thank you.